Happy Sunday night to everybody. Are we doing it? I think we're doing it. We're gonna wait for the thing to catch up. Will it catch up? Goodness sakes. 20 seconds behind? 25? There it is. There, it's catching up. Maybe. How's everyone doing tonight? Happy Sunday evening to everybody. We're gonna do the Sunday night Space Case edition. There I am. I can see all my hugely messy background. That's okay. This is my work area, so it's dark in here, and that's by design. We're gonna have a look at some stuff under the UV before we get into some of the maintenance of the meteorite cabinet. How's it going, Shloki? And Josh is in the house, and Rufo was here for just a second. He's gonna just do the hi and bye. Karen is here. She said she'll be right back, but she is here. Who else is here? Did you get your snacks and your drinks, guys? Hopefully. All right. So Josh is super curious what it is I'm going to show him in particular. So we'll just do that real quick. We'll get it out of the way. And then I'll show you guys some stuff that came out of the tumbler. Oh, there went one. Oh, there's Brian. We're just getting around today, he said. Yeah, we are. Good to see everyone again on this fine Sunday evening. Okay, I'm gonna take you out of the thing, and we're gonna come over here real quick. Channel hopping. All right. Josh wanted to see my coffee table the other day. It's dark enough now that we can do that and enjoy it. Okay, my messy coffee table. So it's a spool, and then I've got it on two very small sawhorses, and then, sorry, I keep a lot of junk under there, but I just filled the cracks in and some random spots with an epoxy or whatever that is, you know, 2-part, but I put a glow-in-the-dark powder in it. And 3, 2, 1, lights off. And so when I sit here and look at things under my UV light, it just charges the heck out of this table. And it's not by any means dark in here. So you can imagine what that looks like in the dark. But yeah, Josh wanted to see my table. So I wanted to show it to him while it was dark and while we had the UV lights handy and everything just kind of stacked up. Oh, and then yeah, I saw, by the way, that Dave went live. Maybe he'll still be live when I'm done here. We'll see. So you guys are missing out on Lapidary Dave tonight to be with me. I appreciate that. Oh, let's see. We always struggle with this tripod. This one always gives us grief, but we're going to hang here for just a second if we can. Yes, we can. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Can we focus? Is the next question. It's like, no, it's too pretty. Oh, that ain't gonna work. Let's see if we can just spill him out then. Okay. I can't find the button to turn that off, so I'm just gonna turn it around. Most, if not all of this, thank you, Melissa. It's not just tumbled glass, but a lot of it is uranium or manganese glass. So, very reactive to the UV. Even the purple. I'm going to get it away from the others so that you can be super sure what you're seeing is for real. Look how green the purple turns. The blue is not, but who could not like the little blue chunk? So it had to go in the mix, of course. Look at it just reflect back on my hand. It's so bright. Yeah, I do believe that the sunlight does cause it to turn more purple. But I mean, we can agree that a lot of this stuff is old because they quit making this stuff how long ago? Somebody probably could Google that and find out. So I've always said that probably the glass that I find out of the glass dumps is at least 100 years old, if not older. But I could be really, really wrong again about that. I'm wrong a lot about a lot of things. I could be wrong about it turning purple in the sunlight. But they turned out really nice. Like even some of it with that texture, the texture stayed. Some of them came out just like so super fine and delicate. I love this little purple piece. It's just like a little teardrop. It's almost perfect. It's got one little scuff on that one side, but nothing you couldn't hide with a wire. But yeah, and then some of them have little bubbles in them, which are really pretty. The little blue one had a little bubble. So I'm going to do exactly what Karen did, where I'm going to show all my cabs first, and then we'll get into the real work. I mean, who couldn't just not love that one? So yeah, I have had a blast with this. That's it's been a lot of fun. I didn't know I could do it, and I just went ahead and did it. They've turned out really, really nice, really, really pretty. And I've made a bunch of jewelry out of some of these and some that I pulled out early. Some of them that I either liked, like this one, you can see how much more frosty it is than the ones that ran all the way through the polish. But I liked that piece frosty. And this one I also... Oh no! That's terrible, Soul. No, I actually, Ben, I run it all the way through. All the way through. I start at my very coarsest grit and run it all the way through. Like I say, I do pull a few out before they're finished because sometimes they get super tiny. For whatever reason, they're either a different material, a different glass, or they've just managed to roll around in the tumbler better than the rest. Some of them I will pull before they are done and keep aside even though they're frosty. I like that look about them too. But yeah, you should definitely try some, Ben. And then as I have to pull a few pieces out, I just put a couple like really smooth rocks in to keep my level up. I don't use any kind of tumbling porcelains or beads or anything. So if I have to pull, you know, a sizable handful of stuff out, well, then I need to also put a sizable handful of stuff back in. And so I do have, you know, I think, honestly, I think this one might have been one that ran through with, it's not focusing, with the glass. So I'll just put some rocks in there too, and they all go just like I would rocks. I'll go a week on my coarsest grit, a week on my, you know, first polish, second polish, and then all the way on down. But anyway, like I say, we'll see some of these in the case later, some finished jewelry later, and just in a little while. The words, the words in the evening. So yeah, a whole little tiny bowl full of that. I was so thrilled. I will probably be doing that again because I really have enjoyed that, making jewelry and stuff out of that. Okay, this is the COA that my Admire came with that is signed by Steve Arnold. And COA stands for Certificate of Authenticity, if you didn't already know that. And, all right. One of the first things I want to do is get this into a little sleeve so that I stop touching it and we don't have like an accident and spill a drink on it or something. That would be terrible. That's like one of the worst things I could ever imagine happening is ruining this. So, let's see. I do have some things for that. So I don't usually keep my COAs in my meteorite cabinet with my meteorites unless it's like the one and only piece of provenance that came with the meteorite, or that any way to label it, or, you know, there are a few reasons why I might do such a thing. And this being like super cool, there, I've got it sleeved up, super cool, you know, Steve Arnold provenance, that's got to go in my case right next to that meteorite. However, I also have a Topher Spin Meteorites COA that goes along with it. What stinks, Art? Oh, as I drop it. I'm going to turn this around and you guys can look at it again while I read. Yeah, Facebook is terrible for like media wrongs for sale too. I'm reading the comments. Cheryl was purchasing some stuff. She was testing the waters, she said, and she found some shady waters. Yeah, and like Brian says, oh no, Loki says that the glass has been picked over and is scarce. He must be talking about on the beach. I'm not on the beach. I'm out in the middle of the prairie. So the glass here luckily has not really been picked over, and I kind of get some of the places where they've got old glass dumps and stuff are on old farms and things. So I kind of get to be the first person to go check that out a lot of times by invite. They're like, why would you want to? Okay, go look. So I'm going to fill out one of these little display cards to go with the Admire. So I'll put this away in my records, away in my records. And I will put this with Admire's information. And then usually I put a date of when this was purchased and how much it cost, but this was a gift to me for my birthday. So I'll put my birthday and the date there and the price as gift. And then I want to slip it in here also with this Steve Arnold card that I want to go into the case. Okay, Steve's card says that it weighs 19.3 grams. Topher's scale said that it weighed 19.5 grams. So let's just go right in the middle and say 19.4 grams on my ID card. Oh. See? How many meteorites do I have? You know you have a lot of meteorites when you have no idea how many meteorites you have. That's a good question. We'll have a look at the cabinet in just a minute because we're going to take these cards over to the cabinet and put them with the meteorites that they belong to. And so, like, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 4, 6, 8. There's 28 meteorites on display, and then there's a small case with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, like 14 in it, and then one up top that I think has 32 meteorites in it, little tiny samples, and then however many go down the other side. So I have maybe close to 100 meteorites, maybe. Okay, so we're finished with this one. We got Admire done. I like to keep my COAs in these envelopes that Sue sends too, if I can. Jeepers. Wow. I also got a gold basin for my birthday. It's an L4 chondrite. And it's from Arizona. And mine weighs 4.99 grams. Okay, and that one's ready to go. I got an L Eglab 001. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. From Tindouf, Algeria. And it's a mesoceterite. So we will look at that when we get over to the cabinet. Let's make a card for it. We're going to make a card for it. Everybody catching on to the process that we're doing here? And let me check the chat really quick. Also, Sue sends, or Topher and Sue send really wonderful photographs with their meteorites. When you buy from them, you usually get a really nice little envelope of photographs and things like business cards and stickers and all kinds of fun paraphernalia to go along with your meteorites. Let's see, I've got just a couple here like that are on the front. Here's Ergcheck 003. Super pretty meteorite. Also, here is, and I was surprised by this one. This is Barnstable, found in Massachusetts. It's an H4. I'm actually kind of surprised that Barnstable is somewhat pretty to look at. The only reason why I'd be excited to have Barnstable from Massachusetts, a picture of that, is because, sorry, I don't mean to flip you off. My buddy, Steven, found that meteorite. Here's a nice picture of Gujba. Bencubinite meteorite. So these always just absolutely blow my mind too. Let's see if I can do both things at one time. Let's see if I can write myself an ID card and show you guys some pictures. Okay, so we just saw Gujba. Let's see what else here's fun to look at. Everything here's fun for me to look at, but what's going to be fun? Oh, there you go. The odd-numbered golden palisite. Oop, there, see? What next? Ooh. Aurora 003. Look at the crest on that bad boy. It almost works. I can almost do these two things at one time. I want a palisade. It's so pretty, says Melissa. Zero, Soul. I have found 0 meteorites. And so I visit with my buddy, the guy that found Barnstable. I visit with him sometimes, and I'm like, you know, between the two of us, because he looked for over 10 years before he found a meteorite that wasn't a witnessed fall, that didn't already have a documented strewn field, one that no one had ever seen before. He looked for over 10 years, just a little over 10 years before he found one. And I'm creeping right up at 10 years, if not just a little bit over 10 years. I'm right at that mark. If I finish writing these 2 words, I can finish telling this story. Okay, I got it. So I joke between the two of us that we've got like 20 years and we found one between the two of us. I joke all the time about that. And birthday gift. Okay. So, no, I've found 0, but I hope that... I joked with Manny the other night, too. I'd asked Manny how long he'd been looking for a meteorite, and he said, oh, you know, like 6 or 7 years. And I was like, yeah, that's about long enough to find one between now and never. And that's the truth of it. You know, you really could look forever and never find one. I do things to help my odds, like put a security camera up outside that's pointed at the sky. If ever there's anything that looks like it fell near my home, that looks like it was promising to go looking for, I might have an idea what direction to go look in. So I do things to help my odds, but my odds are no better than anybody else's, and our odds all are not good. They sent you, or just cool pictures? They are just cool pictures that they include in each order. And I mean, they're like really high grade pictures. So that's really cool because you have these in your hand and you can actually get a really close look. And it's almost like having it in underneath a microscope right in front of you. They're really, really good pictures. So yeah, they will send you a bundle each time you order from them. And I think maybe in all of the times that I've ordered, I got a fat stack of pictures. I think in all the times sometimes Soul, all the times I've ordered, I think I've got the same picture maybe twice. So you're going to get a new picture almost every time you order. And then I saw another good one. Does using a metal detector help? Yeah, sweet space paradotes and olivines. That depends. A lot of my rocks out here on the prairie set a metal detector off, and so does a lot of like farm junk and things. And so sometimes it's maddening digging up hot rocks and junk. And so sometimes I will forego my metal detector for a magnet stick or for just good old eyeball hunting. This is a diagonite. See, look how in there you can get with these pictures. And what's my next meteorite that I'm going to do while you look? My mossy. My mossy will be my next one. Let's see. Cheers, I'm back. Yeah, me too. While you were doing your thing, Karen, I had to get a bite to eat. So I'm trying to do a couple of things at once here, Karen. I'm trying to fill out an ID card. An ID card that matches this COA, that matches the meteorite in the cabinet, so that I can put my COA away. I put them away where they're nobody's business where I keep them. I leave the ID card out with the meteorite. And that way, if anything ever happens to my meteorites, I have the COAs that go with them. And that makes, like, if somebody was dumb enough to try to sell them at the pawn shop or anything like that, I could, you know, say, hey, I've got the COAs for all of those meteorites that are for sale in there, or whatever, you know, just, I don't keep them in the same place for that reason. This is Imelak, and it is a palisite as well. So there's some more beautiful olivines for you to look at. I have a fishing magnet that I use. I have a fishing magnet that I love. Sorry, I'm trying to hold it still. Um, 9.637 grams. And it's Karen again. Excuse me. Here's an iron. Here's a Campo. Sorry, I know I'm all over the place. My next meteorite. Probably not a eucrite. Let's look at the crust on this one while I do my NWA 4411. And kaboom. Okay. 4411. It's an H6 chondrite. It's from Africa, and it weighs 16.2 grams. And 3/6 of 24. Okay, I think that catches me up on my birthday stuff. No, it doesn't. I have a terrestrial piece too. But I would like to make a card for this little guy. And Sorry, I gotta turn it over. It doesn't matter which way you guys look at it, does it? Okay. 3, 6, 24. I know, sorry. I'm trying to do a couple things at once, right? Okay. So let's stack up these COAs. Here is the COA folder. Any kind of important COAs or important provenance, and sometimes even just the postage alone can be good provenance to go with your meteorite. So sometimes I keep that as well, but these will go in here now that we're done. The actual COAs. Ta-da. And now we will take our ID cards over to the cabinet and our little earth rock here. Chubby Hubby's here. Hi, Chubby Hubby. Have I missed anybody else? Soul, did I say hi to you when you came in? I don't know if I did, or if you just kind of snuck in, and I've even read a few of your comments, but officially hello. And Manny, officially hello too. I think I just answered some of your comments, but I don't know if I actually said hello to all of you. Manny's in the future. How is it in the future? You should tell us all. See, you guys are laughing at my hand drift. I'm so sorry. Oh, that was rough, wasn't it? Oh, stuff's about to get real weird as we come over here to the cabinet. Just for a second, I promise. Okay, good. I'm glad to know that you know you're loved, whether I say hello to you or not. Okay, now it's going to be really hard for me to read the chat, so I will have to try to pay attention. All right, let's put this down here. I do have meteorite cabinet. I have a better way to do this. Okay, and I tested this out earlier and it worked as long as my cord isn't hung up. Okay. Boom. Okay. So if we start all the way up at the top, which is hard for my tripod to do, this is Martian, this is lunar, and this is more Martian. So we start off with our planet bodies up top, and then we go into, coming on down, my state meteorites. Roundup and Two Dot are both from Montana. Also is Shoto from Montana. And this one is from Bear, and we have a brand new COA to put with this one. Or not COA, but ID card. All right. That's the one. Thanks, guys. Glad you're enjoying the cabinet. It was worth all the work to make these cards just to get in here. And then I like to just keep my cards with my meteorites. I really hoped I wouldn't do that, but I did, didn't I? We'll probably have a lot of that today. Awesome. Now that it's in there. So if we want to take this one out and look at it, we see the COA back there, meteorite ID card too. And poor little 2-dot. It's fine in there. It just got shook all the way over to one side. Let's fix that. Come on. I got it back where it belonged and the paper moved. Okay. So yeah, 2-dot, now that I've got it out of the case and it doesn't want to focus on it. It's not much of a meteorite to look at, but because it's one of my state meteorites, I had to have it in my collection. There, it's all better. It can go back up there. Okay. So Shoto is also palisite, just like Admire, except that Shoto is an ungrouped palisite, which means it's not like any other palisite. So same family, you'll see my card up there says palisite ungrouped, Shoto, palisite ungrouped. And we know that this is a palisite PMG maybe. And then moving on down, we've got a Gujba, which the light is shining on terribly right now. There. Cool little Gujba P. And we're getting on down here. This meteorite has a new card to go with it. This is the Mossy. Moving on down. Oh, look, we need to pull we're having two problems here. We need to pull this card and these two pieces of provenance out of the case and put them into a nice card envelope with the ID card that I just made, and we'll put them back to back. Since there's nothing on the back of this one, we will put them back to back inside the plastic. I'll be right back. And the other problem we're having there is that Lab is slightly coming out of its case as well. It needs straightened out in there. All right. Okay, I'm happy with that. Whoops. I'm happy with that. Oh, I never did turn the overhead light back on, by the way, after. Oh, pushing it here. There we go. I think. Come back out in front of. I'm afraid that, there we go. It'll push it out of there if I'm not careful. This is a cool piece, by the way. This thing is like fresh, fully crusted. Okay, let's go back over here because this guy, he needs some help too. I didn't make him a card? That's funny, isn't it? Or did I just stick it in this? Shoot, I did. Did you guys watch me do that and laugh at me? Did you? Hee hee, says Manny. Thanks, Manny. Mm-hmm. Got better. Okay, I did too make one. And then moving on, so the mesoceterites are next to each other. We're gonna go for a little ride together. There we go. That catches us up just a little with the height. So this is a mesoceterite as well. Let's see, the light's obnoxiously on it. Only way to fix that is to take it out. There we go. So that's NWA 14518. I love that meteorite. NWA XXX, Topher cut and polished that one. Another little XXX. I just really liked this piece visually. There's so many chondrules. And going for another little ride down. Here's another mesoceterite. This is Vaca Marta. And there's a little cow on that label. I can't see because my tripod grabber's in the way, but there's a little cow on that. I've been told that Vaca Marta loosely translates in Chile to dead cow, and that this meteorite has been blamed for hitting and killing a cow. And I like mesoceterites, so I had to have that. This is a really crazy meteorite. Alhagonia. It's a shock melt rock, and so you could see the shock veins in this piece. Kind of interesting. That one is one of my few that the caliche inside phosphoresces. It doesn't, the meteorite itself doesn't actually phosphoresce, but the caliche inside does. Coming down some more. Dead cow, yeah. That's Chile. And the Chile glass that was sonic boomed out of the windows over in Russia when Chile blew up. If you've never watched the sonic boom videos on YouTube of Chile, you really should, and turn the volume up loud so you can appreciate what's really happening there. And coming down some more. I have meteorite mansion dust from, this is 2023 dust. I have 2022 dust down there, way down there, and I have some Tardistan, which that's a whole nother story. NWA 4411 from Morocco. It's an H6. It's beautiful, full of metal. There's another one. One of my favorites is Dreams Are Made to Be Plans, by the way. And one of my favorites is NWA 869. I think I have two pieces of that, but that was cut and polished by Jules. Okay, there was a question. Let me go over to the thing. Vaca, as in V. V instead of B, Karen. CK4 or CK5? I don't think I have any CKs on this side. The Vaca Marta, is that what you were talking about? Chubby hubby? Now that we've had a good look at Dreams Are Made to Be Plans, let's come back up. Vaca's a meso. Vaca's a mesoceterite. I might have some more fancy It's A1 mesosiderate found in Chile. And yeah, VACAMUERTA is how it's spelled. I have more like interesting classifications on the other side, and we'll spin it around and look. Let's get you back up to the top. Should spin it from the bottom. It spins smoother, but you guys are in my way, so we had to settle for that. So I have way up top, let's see, can I get this thing any taller? Not really. Way up top, just a little combo of some smaller pieces. This is where my Australian meteorites lie. Manny, I think that one right there is from Australia. Yep, Mount Egerton. Mount Egerton is from Australia. And I got that because it's an achondrite, and it looks like a piece of petrified wood to me. And that's, that always terrifies me, that how many achondrites have I probably seen and tossed back. So I like to look at that. I didn't need a big sample of it. I just needed a sample big enough that I could look at it under my jeweler's loop. Hey, Shroom Day, how are you? Glad you could join us. I just needed a piece big enough I could look at it under my jeweler's loop, right? So mission accomplished, I got that. This is a really special meteorite. Obviously, it's really expensive. That's why I only have that tiny little crumb. But that is Cranfield. That fell earlier in 2022, did it? It doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Trying to see where you guys can read it without the glare. There, kind of. 4/27 of 2022. And that one's never been touched by a human hand. That was collected with the glove and the keen forethought to not touch it. These are the first meteorites I ever bought. Just little NWAs. I bought them at a local rock shop. It was like a whole bowl full of them. This one, I love pallasites, guys. This pallasite is very pretty. Of course, it's gross, and the light isn't doing it any good. It's spring water from Canada. Here you go. Now we're getting into some carbonaceous and some weird stuff. This is a CV3. And the focus is where? Can we make it focus? Yeah, right. Look at all the chondrules in that thing, though. Where are we? Below spring water. Let's move you on down. Actually, let's make you look straight ahead. Yeah, possible CV3, not classified, but look at all the chondrules. We can visually say maybe. There's a unclassified, I think Jules polished that, from Space Jules. All right, we're gonna bring you down a little bit. All right, I need to make a card for this one, and there's a thing over there to do it. It's out, and I think there was one more on the other side, too, that I need to make a card for. LL5-6. This doesn't look cool in the case, but the other side is completely black fusion crust, which is interesting because the rock is so gray, right? You're still too tall. There you go. What is that? Possible L3. Such a dark piece, but the stuff inside's real pretty. I got both halves of that. This is gonna need a new card. This is one that I just got for my birthday. This is Gold Basin. Radiation is rare, yeah. Or, you know, radioactive meteorites, yeah. There you go, Gold Basin's got its card now. I love this meteorite down here. Can you see it? Where am I at? Did we go through that one? We didn't. Maruma Rudy and R3. See, I told you I had some more rare types over here. Coming on down. Even some more wouldn't hurt. There we go. I liked the like blue color of that meteorite, so went ahead for it. Possible H. It's got a lot of metal in it. This one I got from a different dealer. I like that big inclusion. I'm a sucker for an inclusion or a megachondral of any kind. And that was unfortunately covered in some really super disgusting, it was like paleo bond or something, but it was like not good on there. And so I lapped it off and like saved that poor meteorite. This is one of the first meteorites I bought. Again, I like that kind of blue color it's got to it. And I liked the way it was like self-display. You could display it this way and see both sides. You could stand it up. Now that I have a nice case, I like it to just kind of hang out like that. This is one of the first meteorites that I cut and polished. Just an unclassified NWA. They get a little like less nice as we move on down. A 3-set gift that I got that is nice. That I like. There's a big chondrule in there, a really big one. Do you see it right there? Thank you, Shroom Day. And I'm gonna add too. Shroom Day just said he thinks I have a very nice collection. Thank you, Sarah Cho. I wanted to know what a palisite looked like if it were laying out on the ground rather than cut and polished for display. So there's a piece. That's what a palisite looks like before they make it display ready. None of this was very expensive. I've done all of this on quite a budget, but I have done it over the past few years. This is an NWA that I butchered. I cut it and I tried to cut it too thin and kind of ruined the back side of that. This is a Dranino. Let's take you on down to Janino Town. I like, too, this vertical case because it doesn't have a huge footprint. It doesn't take up a lot of real estate. It's a Dranino. If you guys watched Meteorite Men, that's the one when they were getting drunk with the Russians. That they went out with the Russians and found. Here is another just unclassified NWA. And I cut it and almost polished it. I missed a big chunk right there. I should go back and fix that one of these days. But another unclassed NWA down here. But maybe I'll cut one of these days. And the chunkers are hanging out down there. Some of the bigger unclassified pieces. We cut this one on on a video the other day. One kind of nice chondrule in it. Otherwise, it was kind of a lame-o. Nice display piece, though. This is one of my bigger meteorites, but not my biggest. But I like this as just a display piece. The desert varnish versus the bit that was down in the sand is nice. I noticed that, by the way, my nails look kind of yellow in here. And that's because I had green fingernail polish on for St. Patrick's Day. And I took it off and it left kind of a weird yellow hue. So that is not a figment of your imagination. That is for real. And I hope that if that doesn't wash off in the next like 24 hours, I'm painting over it. Anyway, there's another nice piece. This piece I cut Had to get him here. And I stopped cutting him. Did a nice job polishing this piece over here and could go back and do this piece again, obviously. But when I was cutting him, I was just slicing him up, you know, for science so we could have a look. But there was a piece in here that had it's got a really goofy inclusion. And the meteorite crew and I have looked at it together and we don't know what it is. You guys can see it from all the way back there. You see that weird little red inclusion? I don't know what that is. There's a little bit of it in this cut too. Like up in here, but not as obvious as in that other piece. And so because we don't know what it is, I stopped cutting and I haven't done anything with any of this that I've sliced, just in case someday we decide that's important to science or something. I could be like, yo, well, here's the rest of it. Take your 20 grams for science, and then like, here's a piece for ASU. And like, I highly doubt that's the case, but I just stopped. I'm at a standstill with that one because it's weird and I don't know what's going on inside of it. All right, let's turn it around just one more little turn. Okie dokie. I think I can just get away with tucking this in here. Ooh, that scared me. And setting him right there. So I have some impactites. That one we looked at on a live. If you didn't watch that live, you need to go back and check that out because that's kind of a neat rock and we got a really close look at it. And I've got some earth stuff up this side. So we'll come back up together. A spinny cabinet. Yeah, it's kind of the bee's knees. Okay, as we're going up, we've got, can you see that? Where is that? Sorry, I've got to figure out where that is on my camera. Some guys remember when we found the camel and the little tiny pig when we were out rock hounding in the glass smash? Brother found a tiny little bottle too, so it's in there too. Okie dokie. Moving on up. Petrified woods that I found, and Rufo's got a spot here in the cabinet. I see he just popped in. Rufo's little deer turd looking rocks, or whatever they are, have made a home in the cabinet. Those sapphires came from Caden's grandpa's collection. I did another show called The Family Stones, and I talked about how like Brother and Caden have polished a few of those. And moving up some more, we have some dino bone. This is one that I found, and I have no idea where I found it because I thought it was a piece of pet wood. Until I came back later and was like, hold on now. That's a piece of dino bone. And this is a piece that I bought because it's beautiful. And I haven't decided what to do with it yet. 2 more pieces of dino bone that I found out here. Coming all the way up here. 2 more pieces of dino bone. This rock I got from Jean's live sale, and I cut it and split it with Rufo. And this one was given to me by Jeff and Vicky. So see, you guys get your spots here. Does this thing get taller? I think it did once. Let's see. Oh yeah, we get a little more out of that one. No. Come on, thing. You guys are rocking and rolling tonight in this tripod. There we go. That's the pseudo meteorite. And Greg gave me that piece of Herkimer, and I like the way it hangs on there. Here's a couple more little Herc pieces that people have given me. Oh, we're almost to the top here. And this piece of pet wood that I found that's just like on fire. It's all covered in druzy. You can see it doing it too. I thought at first when I saw it, the light was shining through it in the sunset. And I thought at first that it was a piece of broken bottle, like beer bottle or something. Oh, sorry about the weeble wobble. And when I picked it up, I nearly cried. I was like, oh my goodness, that's the most amazing piece of pet wood I've ever found in my life. Or agate or whatever it is. It looks like agatized pet wood to me. But yeah, that's got a home in the cabinet. And this piece of platinum ore out of the Stillwater Platinum Mine, and I think it looks like a monster face. Like he's got little antennae and eyeballs and everything. So it's one of my favorite pieces of that I just had to keep up here in the case. He's keeping an eye on everybody and everything. A couple more family stones, stuff that the kids have carved. I lied. Those my ex brought me. He went on a trip to the Menindal Glacier and said, is there anything you'd like for me to bring back? And I said, yes, bring me rocks from right in front of the glacier. I don't know if you're allowed to do that or not, but he did because he's cool. He's all right. As far as exes go, he's okay. So there's the earth rock side of things, if you will. But this cabinet has 4 sides. So what's on the 4th side? Right now, it's completely loaded in jewelry. Jennifer's here. Hi, Jennifer. All right. You guys get to see me too. Hi, in the reflection. These are mine. These are just like, this is the first meteorite jewelry I ever made. It's sketchy. The meteorite I cut and polished myself. The wire wrapping could have been a lot better, but you know, the idea started there. That was where the idea originated. This is an iron meteorite. I can't remember which one. I have the COA down in the bottom of the case for this piece of jewelry that was gifted to me from Topher and Sue. And can you see those or just the tops of those? You can see those. A Bic lighter? There is a Bic lighter. I'm going to snatch it out of there for you. I don't use it. It's still like brand new, but yeah, it's got, this company hasn't even started yet. It's on its way. Brought to you by Topher and Sue. So yes, there is a Bic lighter in there, but it's meteorite paraphernalia. Now I can't get it to stand back up in there, and it's okay. Okay, so these are uranium glass cabs that I did just with a pinch clasp. Yeah, I really like Topher and Sue. I really like these uranium glass cabs as well. I just put them on this leather pieces for now because I actually ran out of chains. And I've actually ordered some chains, but in the meantime, there they are. Let's come on down again. I've got a couple of meteorite pieces here. We looked at these a little bit on the live the other day. I like this one. It's got beautiful chondrules down in the bottom. You can even see them through the plastic. It's a pretty one. This one I thought looked like the Buddhist flower, the Buddhist hand or whatever. It kind of had like that Buddhist shape. And there's one too. Okay, we kind of breezed over those real quick. And can you see those? Some of these are kind of at that frosty stage still, and some went all the way into the shiny stage. And just like I say, that simple little pinch clasp idea. A couple little rejects here. The first one that I did, the hole was way too big, and I could see the hole, even with the pinch clasp, I could see just way too much of it. So I was like, well, I'll put a little jump ring on it. Whatever, I'll do something with it. This one too, I mangled with the Dremel. You could see where I scratched the crap out of it with the Dremel. Trying to drill a hole in it. Mangled that one too. So there's a couple little like rejects over there. And I want to do a couple of things. A few things. I want to review the chat, which I haven't got to do in a second, except what I catch on the phone. I want to do this too. I want to turn the light off in the case. I want to turn the light off on the thing. Ooh, now we're hanging out in the dark. Well, mostly dark, huh? And I want to go ahead and pop a UV onto these. You're still not quite tall enough, huh? Here we go, up and down tonight. What a trip, huh? Yeah, thanks, guys. I like them. They're really therapeutic to make. They're super simple to make. I mean, a pinch clasp. How simple is that? But they're so smooth. They're so pretty. They're just a joy to work with. That I've really enjoyed. Really enjoyed that process, that creative process. Can we buy these somewhere? Yes, moi. Do you have one in particular that you like? A chain style, a color, a shape that you like? Message me in the Discord. I'll be sure to get one headed your way. Let's see. Let me put these down. And then, if you missed your chance there, if you've missed your chance to get a hold of me, on Discord, and I don't think I'm going to charge a whole lot for them. I'm thinking like 20 bucks for the pendant, like 23 with a chain. I'm not thinking a whole hell of a lot for them, but yeah, I know a lady who sells them too. She's pretty cool. She lives out on the prairie. She's got really not a whole lot better things to do than to mess around with uranium glass. Collect it, shape it, polish it, and then put a pinch clasp on it. She's really got nothing better to do with herself. So cooler than glow sticks. Yeah. Yeah. You could do whatever you wanted with it too. I mean, if you wanted to put it on the pull chain of your fan, of your ceiling fan, or if there's a place that you use your UV light often, which mine is at my desk, then like maybe to hang it like off my light or up in my window somewhere might be a neat place where even if I didn't wear it as jewelry, I was catching it in the UV light from time to time. So there, just because it's made into a necklace doesn't mean you have to wear it like jewelry. You can decorate your house with it. Okay. If you miss me in the Discord, or if you know how to get in touch with me, have my email or anything, then there will be a sale, an official sale for these, I think on the 21st of April, that will be not just me, but other meteorite dealers selling cool things, selling their wares. Shroom Day says he just found an old bottle dump out behind his house and he's hoping to find some nice uranium glass. That sounds like a night hike in the making. Let's see, why can't I go up, or can I? No, I really can't. I was hoping to catch some of the older chat. If I scrolled back, it's not really letting me. If I missed anything awesome, now would be the time to put it back in. Yeah, no, I haven't yet, moi, or Melissa. I haven't yet got them on Etsy or anything like that. I don't know if they will go to Etsy or if I'll just do the April 21st live show with them. Plus some like private sales. Like I said, if you want one, get in touch with me. Make something work for you. Yeah, Chubby Hubby is pretty good. So is that Shroom Day guy. You guys have ever watched his stuff? He's pretty cool too. J&V and Jennifer, Brian, Cody. Yeah, they kind of do. They kind of do. I mean, it's good to reach all kinds of different audiences, but some of the platforms for selling things get nuts with all of their fees they want to take and just do crazy things. They want you to. I like running a promotion, and the sale on the 21st will probably have some of my regular jewelry, which you can see over my shoulder in the mess back there, at some discounted prices. So that'll be kind of fun to do. I like the interaction when that's what the idea is to sell. So I do have some things set aside for Karen too, by the way, which is gonna show us your pretty jewelry. Oh. So I put in Karen's box too a small piece of meteorite, but I might try to find a couple more pieces just for funsies. I'm not awesome, just everyone tolerates me. That's not cool. That's not true, Brian. You're cool beans. And Soul too, like the chats just wouldn't be the same without your guys' special touch of humor. Yeah, thanks. This is one of the only UV glass pieces on the whole rack. I've got all the competing light on again, but I think it picks up the, oh yeah, picks up the light better on its side than it does straight at. But that one I hand polished the edges on. I didn't tumble it. I hand polished it. So yeah, I like that piece. Again, I ordered some more chains and stuff, so won't have to resort to hanging them on, you know, jute and leather. There's a glass piece. This one isn't. Oh, thank you, Karen. And thank you for all the wonderful Eunice that you share with us. You guys all rock. This is just old glass that came out of the glass dump. It doesn't UV, but I like it. And I got weird one day and tried to put two pieces together. Which is fine, but I'm not thrilled with the bottom part of it. Might be somebody's favorite part about this piece, though, so I left it alone. Yeah, she is the bomb, isn't she? I'm gonna hit the thing, because I can. Oh, because I can. Did I do it? There. Oh, I undid it. Now I redid it. There it is. Thanks again, Karen. And this is another glass piece that I just hand carved the wire colors, thanks. Hand carved to the edge of, so it didn't go through the tumbler. And I just kind of let it be its own creation. Kind of let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Thank you. And try to not rock and roll this thing too bad because it wants to weeble wobble. Again, just really old glass. This doesn't glow. And I think I hand polished this one too. It's a rake, yeah. It's a rake stuffed down in a bottle. And try it again for the two. And now that I'm dremeling to hang the pinch clasps, I think I'm going to try for a weird another two style piece with the with a jump hook in between. So I might drill a couple pieces with that design in mind. This is one of my favorites. Beautiful, fancy, fancy agate. Thanks, husband. Is that colored wire hard to work with? The stuff I got scratches if you're not careful. Oop! I haven't really had that problem with it. I mean, I have that problem with all of my wire. And the solution for that... Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Plasti Dip. Do your tools mar your metal? Do the nuts and bolts hurt your fingers? Introducing Plasti Dip. A Plasti Dip on my tools. See, I need to re-Plasti Dip. This is a bad Plasti Dip job. This was like, I'm just going to use what's left dry in the bottom of the thing and cake it on there. But it peels right off. When you're good and done with it, it comes off of here. And you can, there. Throw that part away and reapply your Plasti Dip to your tools. And of course, over time, I wear the heck out of that. But still, like, until you do that to it, until it's just trashed, it's way better than just metal. I have a gallon of glow-in-the-dark Plasti Dip somewhere. Dang, I'm gonna add some glow-in-the-dark powder to mine. I want mine to glow in the dark. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so introducing Plasti Dip. Get yours today. Not a sponsor. Yeah. So the problem with the marring the metal, I've found a solution that helps. This doesn't always stop the problem, but it helps. Back to the jewelry, because we've just got a few left, and Melissa was asking that we have a look at them. This is a stone that I found here locally and cut. Kind of a pink green thing. And somebody said earlier, I think it was Brian, said, I don't like my rocks overworked. I like to still know that they're a rock. And I'll sometimes skip polishing the back, even though the back of my stones are visible, because I want you to know that I did this work by hand. I want you to know that this is a real rock. I didn't buy this off of Amazon or Etsy or eBay. I didn't buy this stone. And yeah, it's like a unakite kind of, maybe. I find some unakite out here that's like a little more poppy than that, like a little brighter colored than that. But yeah, so I like sometimes to leave the backs of mine unpolished just because, like I say, then you know I made that. This stone is magnetically attracted. Really? I don't have a nice magnet handy. For real, I'm the meteorite girl. I don't have a nice magnet handy. I love the wire wrap on this. The top is really cool. But yeah, just I mean, ugly as ugly could be rock. Just freehand polished, you know, like I didn't even really do a really nice job to it, but I like it. I like it's rough, rustic. Roughness. It's a unique piece. Who else has a magnetically attracted stone from Montana necklace? Here's one that I just recently pulled out of. One that I just recently pulled out of the tumbler. So that's tumble polished. Chain doesn't match, but that's okay. I like it anyway. Yeah, oopsie. Told you it's a little weebly wobbly. When I go to shows and stuff, I hot glue it into the bottom of a wood box, so it's not as apt to take a tumble. But it's still sometimes, if that wood is, or the hot glue kind of starts, when people start reaming on it, the hot glue starts wearing loose and it still is apt to take a tiny tumble. I say tiny because I'm looking at tiny things. So that's the thought, that's the word. There's a tiny fossil right there. Little crinoid fossil. The whole piece is full of little tiny fossils like that. Thank you, Shroom Day. I'm a prairie girl. Everything I do is pretty simple and on a budget. I like my wire wrapping to accent my stones more than, and I'm not a very great wire wrapper, so I really try to just keep it simple. Yay, fossils, yes, a fossil piece. Because it doesn't get any more unique than teeny tiny crinoids in your jewelry. I got 3 more over here that aren't on the thing. We could put 1 more up there and fill her up. Here's a piece I did where I saved the agate and polished the jasper. For sure, Karen, when you're bored at work, you could just be like, there's a tiny crinoid, there's a tiny crinoid, there's a tiny Yes, that's a pretty piece. I like that piece. In fact, we'll go ahead and put him up there. He needs a real chain. I need to stop hanging him on. Look, there's 2 more spots up there I didn't realize. How about a good old Montana agate? Thank you, soul. I've certainly seen where, well, thank you. Thank you. I like that kind of, was it really a compliment or was it not kind of jousting at each other? I like that. Montana agate. You know, found and polished by yours truly. You know, like, it's actually takes a lot of gumption to be the rock hound, to be the person on the saw, to be the person on the lap, or even running them through the tumbler, to all the way to the person doing the wire wrapping. Like, yes, thank you. It's quite a chore to be the jack of all trades. I was hoping I'd find just a tiny lake because it's such a tiny rock. Maybe? And then, of course, I'm a mom. I work a job. I run a YouTube. Let's just say that I might have some ADHD and that I don't sit still very well. I'm pretty much always moving and doing something. So yeah, just a teeny little agate. Let's put him on the thing. Look, he don't even weigh anything. He won't even mess up the end. And 1 more. I think he's kind of just like the other one. He's, I mean, it's okay. And in a band. Yeah, and in a band. By the way, we have a show coming up the 12th and the 13th out of town. So looking forward to a busy weekend with the band. I play the big bass, by the way, if you don't know. Shroom. I'll turn you around real quick. My big bass. Like the big bass. Boom, 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 boom. I do a little singing too. Okay, last one here. Like I say, nothing super fancy. Just does the purpose. We'll stick him back in the bag. Back in the bag. Like the big bass, I cannot lie. Oh, there's all kinds of, you know, fun bass jokes. If you know, if you don't like being the butt of jokes, don't start playing the bass, because there's all kinds of fun bass jokes out there. Yeah, well, and like, thank you to the, you know, University of YouTube, you can teach yourself to do all kinds of cool things, right? It's the drummer who's the butt of all the jokes down in Australia. We pick on the drummer a little bit too. You know, the joke with our drummer is he's always late and we're always waiting on him. He's always, you know, just a beat behind. He's not, but we can make fun of him for it. And then like bass player stuff is always like, two guys were walking down the street. One guy didn't have any money and the other guy also played bass. So you're always broke as a bass player. So yeah, everything I do is on a budget because my hobbies are very expensive. So I got to do everything I can to keep it cheap. And there was a thing too. It was like allspice. No, and bass strings don't come cheap. You're right about that, Manny. There was an allspice advertisement and it was like guitar, and somebody had paid attention and was like, dear allspice, first of all, that is not a guitar, that is a bass. Second of all, no one in the history of ever has said, I want to smell like the bass player. And third of all, the bass player never plays a solo unless their dad has paid for everything in the band or owns the van. So there's all kinds of funny bass jokes. Some that are more appropriate for late night TV than others. Yes, slapping them strings, slapping that bass. Yes, spinning it. Right. There are a few bass players who play solos. It ain't me. I'm just there to back up our guitar player. Oh, that seems very low. Very punny. Very punny, chubby hubby. Bass jokes seem very low. That is very punny. I like that. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've heard bass players do it with their fingers, Manny. And I've heard too that, you know, I'm the one, the bass player is the one that's making your partner move. So I'm the reason why your girlfriends are dancing. I'm the reason why your boyfriends are dancing too. It's the bass that makes you move. What'd Soul say? You're just stringing us along. Yeah, it's a different style for sure. Oh goodness, it got way weird. I like it. Sorry to fiddle about. Oh goodness, I bet you're looking sharp too, aren't you? Uh-huh. Oh, so sharp. That joke fell flat. Josh, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in the chat for a second there. Yeah. You know, maybe there's a few out there who are listening to what I'm saying. You guys are great. Some of the few. Yeah, so the 12th and 13th. Buffalo Joe's, Trader Joe's. I'm not even sure. We've never played there before. So, Friday and Saturday, I think, are those nights earlier in the evening too. Like we start at 5. So like it's a like bar restaurant sort of scene. So hopefully we can keep them packed and keep them entertained and there and partying and dancing for most of the night. And we'll see if it's I said maybe I'd go live last time we did a show, and then I got there and our lead guy was like brutally ill. Like he was like, I couldn't not show up. Everyone's counting on me. I mean, they've had posters and flyers hung up for a month and a half, and he was so sick. He was just pouring sweat, and he did it. He put a show on like a trooper. It was a good show too. We had a lot of fun, but whew, I did not feel like sticking a camera in his face when he just wasn't feeling good. So, I mean, I'd hope he'd do me the same respect if I showed up and was like, man, I'm here, but not doing it very good. So I'm glad the show it must go on. Not only will it go on, Manny, but it must go on. So, but it doesn't must go on with a camera shoved in his face. Or even way across the room. It just was like, nah, we'll try again another day. Way to be awesome, Josh. First rule of gig club. Yeah, he was so sick I couldn't even make fun of him for it. I was just like, dang, dude, try some Tylenol. I got some. Oh. Yeah, good night, Jeff. I'm glad you were here and awesome live. It was fun hanging out with you and Vicky earlier today. And I'm sure we'll all be doing that again soon. We'll be seeing you on your channel again soon. And probably, I think we'll see me next. Actually, it'll be me on, Rufo actually just posted his video. And he may go live tomorrow, he said. Karen will go after me on Wednesday, because I'll go on Wednesday, and Karen will go on Friday. Well, Karen and crew, maybe even. We'll see how they play their cards again this weekend. That was a surprise last weekend when there was a dual stream. And we'll see if we get Kyle back this weekend. He's promised lots of new merch. All kinds of new fun things to look at. We need more Sundays where everyone takes turns, huh, Soul? Sunday fun day? Okay, cool. Karen says it'll probably be the Karen instead of the all of them. And J and V, Jeff just said results video should be up sometime. It's uploading. Awesome. Awesome, everybody. Check that out. Do the thing, too. Leave a like, a nice comment. For sure. It's been a really good Sunday fun day. Yeah, and Josh got in on the live there for a minute. I haven't seen that yet. I'm going to have to go back and check it out. And yeah, he's doing the things. He's doing the thing. Josh is doing the thing. I'm glad you all hung out with me, too. That was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a really tough. Oh, wait. I help when I can. 6 p.m. hump day, happy hour Wednesday should have. Okay, again, Josh, I do my meteorite night on Wednesday. So if I'm missing your Wednesday night live, I do apologize, my man. I've been doing the meteorite hangout Wednesday nights for like 4+ years now. And I don't think sickness, health, rain, or shine, I've maybe missed one. I don't think I even missed one though. So, if you're doing a Wednesday evening, I'm occupied doing my meteorite thing, but I will always watch the replay when I get back to it. Excuse me. Like when on the 12th and 13th, when I'm out playing music, I'll miss Karen's stuff most likely, and I'll be sure to come back and check that out as soon as I get home and get the time. So, and Jackie's able to go live now, says Brian. Everybody look out. Oh, thank you, Josh. So much. Oh, I can't do it on there. I have to come over here and do it. There we go. I'm doing the thing. Josh, you rock. You've got one of the biggest hearts ever. The world needs more big hearts, for sure. I really feel like I need a rake now. Well, if you're lucky, Melissa, you'll find your rake when you're out looking for uranium glass. And Manny just said, nice one, Josh. But since Manny was there and saying something, I wanted to say too that Manny's put out some really cool videos lately too. He's got a really cool, funky, groovy style. His music and his editing are really, really modern and fresh. I like it. Oh, yeah. And Josh says you're welcome, everyone. Yes, thank you, Josh. That helps out what we're doing here. I've really been, I actually looked at the StreamYard stuff the other night. The prices of it aren't too bad. I need to just decide to do that. And my hesitation is that I use the phone a lot, which everybody says you can do StreamYard on the phone, but I have to learn how to do that. So, yeah, between doing some rock counting this summer and some upgrades and some technology and stuff, that's some of my monetary plans. I apologize. I can feel my cold medicine wearing off just a little, and I can hear my congestion coming back. I apologize. I'm eyeballing Nia Rake too. It's a great display, says Karen. Yeah, for sure, Manny. Really cool videos. Paint scenery on the rake? Ooh, I can't hardly paint to save my life, soul. Anybody out there paint and draw? I think I'm too impatient. I think I want my drawings to look better than they can in the time that I give them. I could do some pretty simple stuff, but plasti dip the rig. Actually, I was going to clear coat it at the very least. It's never yet been a problem where it stains, rust stains any of my stuff, but I sure don't want it to be ever either. So I have thought about clear coating it. Not only that, but it would make it like smoother so that the strings would slide on and off of there better. But yeah, clear coat in the near future just so that I don't ever rust anything would be maybe a good idea. But plasti dip the rake. Only if my plasti dip will glow in the dark. Shroom day. Yeah, chubby hubby. I mean, if you can draw your stick figures accurately enough that they depict a general idea, then yes, that does count. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking is just, well, and I don't even mind if it was even a shinier clear coat, but yeah, a matte clear coat so that it still looks rusted and antiqued, but it's been a few years since you've used it. That's what I was saying. Or even that powder that I used in my table, Manny, for the epoxy. It's such a super thin powder. But yeah, I don't see why I couldn't put a little of that in my plasti dip and make my tools glow in the dark. But yeah, if I could make the rake glow, that'd be cool, because then when I'm showing UV pieces on it, the rake could pop too. But so many ideas and so many things that we could do. You'd never lose them, yeah. Really glow in the dark clear spray paint, huh, Brian? Jennifer. Theo says that all you have to do is do it. So paint, Allison, she says. Yeah, right. Just be sure to do my, my creative crunches. Just start, sit-upping, exercising, jogging that part of my brain until all of a sudden, like 3 years from now, I might be kind of okay at painting. Kind of like 3 years ago, I was just not very good at playing bass. And kind of like 3 years ago, I was real not good at wire wrapping. Oh, but stick with the thing long enough and you can get good at it, right? Or better at it. What? Really? John. Glad you're here. You missed a whole bunch of really cool show and tell, John. Yeah, build those pathways, right. Right. Yeah. All I have to do is exercise and exercise and exercise my painting and drawing abilities, and I'll soon be able to do it. Yeah. I don't think I need another hobby. I'm gonna just rattle can maybe a couple things and call that good. I'm gonna plasti dip some things and call that good. Yeah, John, glad you could pop in. You'll have to go back and watch. We went all the way through the case. It was kind of awkward, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there was a lot of up and down because my case is vertical. And so we just slid the tripod up and back down, and it was, I better really watch my hand gestures. Some of that stuff's kind of looking a little profane. But lots of fun. We went all the way up and down the cabinet on all four sides and checked out everything in there. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? You practice, practice, practice. That's okay, John. The replay will be available just as soon as we get done here. So you'll have to, yeah, have to definitely check it out. We made some, I have a couple more that I need to do too. Like Goujba's one that needs an ID card. So this is the COA. This is the ID card. And so I filled out some ID cards and added them into some of the stuff in the meteorite case because I was getting a little bit behind on some of that stuff. The one thing that I do like about, excuse me, actually my significant other just ordered a Geiger counter. His bathroom looks like Tron. It's awesome. So anyway, the other side of this card has this neat part on it when you can put the purchase date and the cost on it. And I like to keep that in my case with the meteorite. I don't usually keep it that way out. I usually keep it this way out, but on that other side is that purchase date and cost. If anything should ever happen to me, and I mean, I know that sounds far-fetched, but you really just never know, right? If anything should ever happen to me, I want it to be as easy as possible for my friends and family to go through my case and know what my stuff is worth. I don't want them to have to Google everything and find, you know, 3 separate sellers and average their sale price to come up with a price that this meteorite might be worth. So as a good curator of my collection, I like to have it right there and ready just in case anything should happen to me. And if all of the meteorites came tumbling down in an earthquake or something, there's a lot of things on these that match, right? A lot of these, well, if it's a classified thing, it's got a name, and so is there a name on the case? And if there isn't, how much does it weigh? Because the weight is on a lot of these things too. And so you might be able to narrow it down through process of elimination if ever the case should, I mean, like I say, there was an earthquake and the whole thing fell on the floor and rocks went everywhere. You'd be able to pick it up and put it back together, right? So yeah, it's just, I mean, heaven forbid anything should happen to me tomorrow or the next day or the next year or the next maybe 10 or 20 or even 30 or 40 years, but it's not guaranteed to any of us. And I don't want to leave a burden for my family of them going, yeah, she'd be rolling over in her grave to know that we're going to sell these as a group at a yard sale or on Etsy, or, you know, like, I just don't ever want them to feel like that. So I want them to know what the worth of those rocks is. Hey, John. Yeah. Are 40 years old. Yeah, but at least still you know what I paid for it. So you know what at least it was worth when I bought it, right? So, and that's good for me too, because sometimes I don't remember what I paid for that meteorite, and I don't have to go back through my records to go find it either. I could say, oh, you know, that was a $12 meteorite. That was a $32 meteorite. That was a $132 meteorite. And then if ever I, wanted to do something with them, at least I know what I need to get back out of them to break even. So it's, like I say, I just don't want my kids to have to wonder, what is this? What is this? Is this rock important? If it's important, it's probably in that case and it's probably labeled. Otherwise, it's going to be an estate sale someday, isn't it? Yeah, right. The internet can help a lot, but yeah, give me those 40-year-old prices, man. I'm liking those. And if you watch out for things like that, the estate sales and stuff where it's such an abundance that they want to just kind of let it go in lots, lot number 103, lot number 104. And that's a great way to get a huge bunch of stuff for next to nothing. Yeah. And honestly, I mean, I don't like to dwell on the idea that it could happen any day for us, but my neighbor across the street is 52 years old and she had a heart attack. Our kids are in the same grade. I mean, I don't like to live there. I don't like to dwell on that, but let's not be naive. It's not promised to anybody. And when you keep that just kind of in the back of your mind, it makes some of the most simple things in life seem absolutely really amazing. And they are really amazing if we just take the time to slow down and notice. And so don't take crap for granted, I guess, is really where I'm going with that. But to be aware that you're not guaranteed tomorrow, and there's no day like today. There's no sunset like this sunset. There's no, breeze like that breeze. There's no, friend like Manny. There's no friend like Soul. There's no friend like Shroom Day. There's no friend like John. When you realize how unique and special every little bit of that coming together in that moment is, it's like, oh, we are lucky. We are so freaking lucky. I wasn't the crazy neighbor, but thank you. Yeah. Rest in peace to every crazy neighbor who isn't promised tomorrow. So we loved Glenn. That's good. We loved Glenn. Cherish every day and all the little things. I think seriously, like, we get so busy in our day-to-day life with all of the technology and distractions and things. I'm really terribly busy. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's good to take a minute to stop and notice some of the little things. And, like, seriously, some of the tiniest stuff is so stinking delightful. Let's take a minute, like, for real. How delightful is that stuff? That's so cool. Some of my meteorites too, like, I can just seriously stick the headgear on, the optivisor on, and just like, for a long time. The UV light too. If you guys ever done that, just go nuts. Like, ooh, look at the orange. Like, and the next thing you know, like, it's way past your bedtime and work's gonna be a struggle the next day, but you still had to go check every rock. I've checked those all, by the way, but I still do it again and again sometimes. And then, like, I've got bowls full. What in here, by the way, that's a nice piece of uranium glass. It's got nice texture on it. This would be pretty. That's gonna be a pretty cab. Just like, I could spaz out for hours on some of those tiny details. And you should. You should enjoy that stuff. Fossil soup. Fossil soup. I never turn down some fossil soup. I'm all about a soup fossil soup. Just, yeah, for sure. Soul, agree. I do the same thing with my UV. Walk around inside my house all night with my, yep. And I've got rocks in the windowsill too, so I'm pretty sure I've given the neighbors the old whoop, 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 whoop more than a couple of times. Oh well. Oh well, so be it. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Sometimes we get to do it together. You know, sometimes we're having a late Sunday night, late live together, and we're like, okay, 3, 2, 1, lights, camera, action. We're gonna look at this together. Can I share my link? Yes. Except that you're not a mod. So which link are we sharing? You're a mod now. Share your link. Yep, you got it. Please share your link. Cool. Rufo's like, I love random ground finds with the UV. I get lost for hours under the microscope, says John. Yeah, I do too with my Optivisor. And okay, and then yes, okay. Some of the yes, you bet, Josh. Some of the lichens and caliche and things like that glow under UV, and even phosphorus, some of them under the UV. The cliche we have here phosphoresces. What you doing there, Salt? Nothing. I'm just looking at rocks. A rave party on the prairie, for sure. And we're gonna get our, like, you know, UV jewelry. I'm like, unce it. Yeah, for sure. All the college kids are gonna want one. They're all gonna want one for their raves. Yeah, lurking with the sound off, Rufo. That's gotta be a odd show. Now I know why my links don't link. Because you weren't a mod? Shroom Day, that was funny. It made me laugh. If your neighbor's gonna watch, you give them something to watch, right? I mean, no, that's not a neighborly way to live, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Yes, okay, well, get her done there, Josh. Did you share it? Oh, you did. Oh, here I am waiting for you to do it. There it is. Way to be awesome. Okay, glad I could help you out with that. I might be the crazy neighbor too. In fact, I apologized to my neighbor one time because when it's nice out, I like to take the base out on the back deck and I'll sit and sip my lemonade or my, you know, not a sponsor, my pop or whatever, and I'll enjoy the sunshine and the breeze for a minute, and then I'll pop up and do another couple songs, and then I'll let the bass hang out for a minute. I'll hang out for a little while. So my neighbors will hear me like on and off all day playing music out on the back deck. And I can hear it sometimes like bounce off their houses and echo back into my yard. And I've apologized. I'm like, I'm, you know, sorry you guys got to listen to that. And my one neighbor was like, I'd rather listen to that than some of the barking dogs that we hear in the neighborhood. And I was like, okay then. Yeah, me too, but but I agree. I'd rather listen to somebody playing music than barking dogs 24/7. Early in the morning and late at night is when your dog should not be barking. Please and thank you. Love your dog in the morning and the night. Let them in the house. My dog will bark at night. Like, I leave the back door open at night and she'll go in and out as she pleases in the summer. And if there's an intruder in our yard, then she'll surely tell me with an alarming little And it's about enough to get me out of bed in a heck of a hurry and tell her, leave the hell kitties alone. Do not get skunked. And luckily she's smart with the skunks and she stays way, way back and just alarms. But I'm always afraid she's going to get mafed. But yeah. Otherwise, my dog, you never know I have a dog. Thank goodness. I look forward to being the crazy neighbor as well. Because now not only do we hear the bass, but the big saw isn't quiet either. I'm pretty sure you can hear it a couple houses away if the windows are all open. It's been cold, so no one's had their windows open yet, but we'll see. I'll ask a few of the neighbors if they're hearing it, or I'll take a little walk down the street and listen. But I have a funny feeling I'm going to be making, you know, some thunder. Hear the thunder, the rock saw and the thunder through the neighborhood this summer. If you aren't hearing that saw rolling, you hear the bass bumping. And if you're not hearing the bass bumping, then you might be hearing the little saw. And if you're not hearing the little saw, it might be the flat lap. And also probably there's going to be some tumblers rolling. So this is not a quiet place to hang out. It's a chill place to hang out, but not necessarily the most quiet. Chubby Hubby would like the sound of a leaf blower when he goes to bed. So like that turbo fan. White noise. No, he said no. Music's good, leaf blower bad. Ah, not the white noise. Gotcha. Yes, get into your tumbler game there, Manny. You had that whole barrel loaded full of them pre-shaped cabs too. You gotta rock and roll that again. My sister likes to deep fry everything, so our window gets open frequently. Do you hear me, soul? Can you hear me out there? You'll hear me when I find that meteorite finally. The whole world will hear me then. Holy cow, it's getting late here. How'd that happen? Oh, and my battery's gonna die. I got a low battery warning a minute ago. I should probably pay attention to that. I do have to work tomorrow. Probably miss Rufo's live tomorrow afternoon. He'll probably go live and I'll be at work. It's okay though. You guys will be there taking care of him for me, huh? So yeah, it's not the latest it's ever been. It's only 10:30, but still I should probably go get some grub in my belly. Do some more, I've got just a couple more of these to finish up. I should finish them up and then I can clean the whole thing up, put the folder away, yeah. But yeah, what a great Sunday fun day, you guys. It was a blast to hop from live to live tonight. Like a bunny, happy Easter. We hopped from live to live tonight. Yeah, Manny. And yeah, we'll do it again given the opportunity. When it's reasonable, we'll do it again. Until then, I'll see you guys all on Sunday. Or on Sunday. On Wednesday. It's getting late. I'm apt to say goofy things. So we'll hang out and play again on Wednesday. I'll show you the rocks that came out of the tumbler too, because that's just the glass. Yeah, I'm glad you did too. And good night and be well, Chubby Hubby. And hippity hoppity, says Josh. Interesting, soul. I'm not on the Discord as often as I'd like to be, but put it on the Discord and I will have a look at it when I get over there and check it out. And yeah, be well, everyone. We'll sing the song. We never sing the song on a Sunday. That's kind of cool. We'll sing the song and we'll get out of here. Sorry. Yeah, we're going to have to get around that. So, pretty rocks out on the prairie. Pretty rocks are everywhere. Pretty rocks for us to look at. Pretty rocks are everywhere. There's a pink one and a green one and a blue one and a yellow one. And they all are very pretty. And they all are everywhere. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, Brian. Thank you. John, Spot, Soul, Josh, Shroom, Maddie, you guys all, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you guys around in more lives. Go do the thing, leave a like, leave a nice comment, and we'll see you again soon. Have a good rest of your week.